We have Nostradamus predicting King Charles' reign will be short, and it looks like he's predicting an abdication. These revelations come from the book Nostradamus, The Complete Prophecies for the Future. He predicted accurately that Queen Elizabeth II would die circa 2022, 5 years short of her mother's term of life. These in predictions dated back in 1555. I'm a huge fan of Nostradamus. He also wrote that Charles III would become King of the Islands, indicating that Charles would rule only the territories of Great Britain rather than what was once a global empire, including Canada, Australia, and New Zealand before him, and many other Commonwealth nations. Prince Charles will be 74 years old in 2022 when he takes the throne, but the resentments held against him by a certain proportion of the British population following his divorce from Diana, Prince of Wales, still persist. He then states, a man who never expected to become king will instead rule. Several things are indicated here. Number one, that Charles will abdicate due to unpopularity with the people. The other possibility is that Charles may pass from sudden illness or incapacity. He very famously has swollen hands. And this obvious to everybody. This could indicate high blood pressure, heart disease, any number of serious health issues. And he is 73 years old and turning 74 on November 14th of this year. Most people are retired by this age, but Charles has been unemployed his whole life and is just getting started as king. Even should Charles pass suddenly or become incapacitated, the line of succession is clear. It goes Charles, William, George, Charlotte, Louis, and then finally our wayward Prince Harry. This prophecy seems to be predicting that Harry could become king suddenly and very unexpectedly. According to Lady C, Meghan said, "We're one plane crash away from the throne." The other possibility that I need to bring up is nuclear Armageddon, which everyone is ignoring while our leaders rush us headlong into it. Elon Musk tweeted, "Redo the elections of the annexed regions under UN supervision." Russia leaves, if that is the will of the people, Crimea, formerly part of Russia, as it has been since 1783. Water supply to Crimea assured. Ukraine remains neutral. This is exactly right. Russia just held elections in 5 new regions of Ukraine where they all, quote, voted to join Russia. This seems very suspect at best. Crimea was always a part of Russia until a very recent handing over to Ukraine for reasons that no one can really explain, and Russia is losing its mind over Ukraine joining NATO because Ukraine acts as a buffer between Western Europe and Russia in case of war with Western Europe. Top Ukrainian officials called Musk Hitler and said F off, and he ends up cutting off Starlink, which is their communication system. It's $20 million per month that the Ukrainian troops are using to battle Russia with all of our weapons and money. And we're giving more money to Ukraine than we are giving to any of the states. It's absurd. Even Donald Trump stated, "We must demand the immediate negotiation of a peaceful end to the war in Ukraine, or we will end up in World War III and there will be nothing left of our planet." He also offered to go over there on a diplomatic mission, sit down with Putin and Zelensky, and broker the peace agreement. You should really ask yourself, why is no one trying to broker a peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia? Nuclear Armageddon and the end of the world as we know it is closer than it has ever been. And the SJW crybullies are trying to kill us all. So another possibility is clearly nuclear war, which no one is talking about, which is really weird. Finally, I want to ask, is there any possibility that our beloved Prince Harry could ever become king? Because I really don't think this is on anyone's radar, except perhaps someone with the initials MM, who shall not be named. Let's get into it. Let's see what the cards want to reveal. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So let's get into this. Will Charles abdicate the throne as our illustrious Nostradamus, Michel de Nostradam, said? And that guy, he wrote it more in plain English. Nostradamus wrote in practically an iambic pentameter. I mean, he wrote poetically. So that wasn't a direct, word for word translation that I was reading to you. That was that guy's interpretation of the poetic writing of Nostradamus. But I ordered the book from the library. I'm looking forward to reading because I really like Nostradamus. So will Charles, is he going to abdicate the throne? Because it doesn't look like that's what's happening currently. It looks like Charles is being welcomed people really like Charles and they're welcoming him like, oh, great, you're king. They're not like, monarchy, republic. They're not shouting republic, republic, get rid of the monarchy. So will he abdicate the throne? We have a yes, but that could just mean very important events. That could be like an aneurysm or some health crisis. Oh, there's a blockage. Yes. Magi. Executioner and mustard seed. So what do we have? We have a couple of people here. We have two different kings showing, and we're asking, is there going to be another king? We have two kings showing. One in people and events and another in hopes and fears. We have a new situation or a new king. We have a blockage, and we have underlying problems. Let's read it. So let's begin with this. This is on the bottom, underlying situation. We have underlying problems. And in a health reading, the snake can be intestines, colon, anything, snake or rope-like. Plus, this is the symbol. The snake is the symbol of medicine. Okay, so underlying medical issues, definitely. There are definite, serious underlying medical issues. Here we have the near future. We have a problem, a serious problem for Charles cropping up. Let's read it. 3 diamonds, Trinity, yes, and karmic relationship. So because of he's in the line of succession, he is king. 12 and 6, 18, he ascended to the throne because of the very strict rules regarding the line of succession. Behind, so this, I said this could be like an aneurysm or something, or this can be his ascension to becoming king, sun. He shines like the sun now. Mercury, it all happened very fast. But in the near future, there's something is going to come up. And so far, we're seeing health problems. So this all over here is, he's king because that's the line of ascension. He's now ascended to his brightest point. But there's definitely a problem in the near future. This is the very near future. This is like the next thing. Okay, so Star of Bethlehem, in a health reading, this could be like cancer. Okay, it's everywhere. Star of Bethlehem, it's metastasized. That's in a health reading. But I'm not sure what we're reading this 7 hearts in context. I mean, the context of this 7 hearts is he going to abdicate? So far we're seeing health. I mean, it could relate to health. Magi, manifesting. Magi is the most powerful. So he's manifesting his will. People and events, he's manifesting his will. He's slimming down the monarchy. Andrew says his breath is snatched away because Charles is moving so fast and cutting so ruthlessly. And I think Andrew is really worried. So Charles has a vision. He's been thinking, when I become king, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And he's doing it. Hopes and fears cut off, and someone new. So right here, we already have a new king. We have two kings showing, and we have a new king starting. So we have a problem, we have health issues, and we have a new king starting. So Charles definitely has health issues. He has the really fat hands. I don't. I was staining my bathroom floor. I have stain on my hands, but I don't have the fat hands. My father had a bit of the fat hand thing going on. I mean, he died at 70, and he stopped walking at 60. So, I don't know, fat hands are pretty serious. That's edema. That's fluid buildup. Anyway, so I do see a new king. And I see this happening quite quickly. He doesn't seem to be lasting very long. So I'm asking about abdication. I'm not seeing, I wouldn't say I'm seeing abdication. I would say I'm seeing a new king. Let's just, I'm definitely seeing a new king. I don't think he's not going to last long. Okay, that's what we have here. He's not going to last long. Let's explore a little further. Will Charles pass from illness in the next couple of years, next 3 years? Let's say the next 3 years. Is Charles going to pass from an illness within the next 3 years? Woman. And we have a yes. And the foundation. There's that King of Diamonds again. Will Charles pass from illness in the next 3 years? So the key is the foundation and the woman, 1625, 7 hearts. Woman, yes, cornerstone. Okay, so positive cards should be read positively. Negative cards should be read negatively. What are illness cards? 8 spades, 6 spades, Jack of spades, Queen of spades, Devil. We saw some of these cards in the last reading. Charles is definitely ill. He definitely suffers from serious illnesses, and it's right on the surface. I was an auditor. If you can see it right on the surface before you go into the site, man, you've got a treasure trove coming. So we can see it right on the surface that Charles is not well, just with the very fat hands he has. But he has some of the best doctors in the world, and he has all the money in the world. So I don't think he's going to pass in the next 3 years. I really don't. Not from this. These are very positive cards. Very red, very positive. So good health and a solid foundation. Good health and a solid foundation. During this period, 7 hearts. So what do we have underneath? Child rising to the highest point, and the way is open. And this new king comes out of nowhere. So on the other hand, we have a new king rising up to take the throne, like out of nowhere, completely unexpected. 7 spades, completely unexpected. And that is what Nostradamus is saying. And he was amazingly accurate. Let's look at William or someone else, because next in line to the throne is Prince William. Everybody loves Prince William. Andrew actually said he petitioned the Queen, hey, you should let William rule instead of Charles, just skip Charles. And I want to do a video on that. I haven't done it yet. But everybody loves William and Kate. They're fantastic. He's very smart, very capable, very, he's right for the position. I think I was a little worried about Charles. I wasn't sure he would be tough or really smart like the Queen. The Queen is so smart and tough and really, really makes fantastic decisions. So far, I'm very happy with how Charles is ruling. But I think William will be even better. I don't think he's driven by his emotions. He doesn't fly off the cuff. He's very measured. He's like He's like an engineer. I mean, he really takes everything into account. I love it. So will William rule in his place or someone else? Because William is next in line. So let's look at William or some other person, some unexpected person, because that's what we're getting. That's what Nostradamus is saying. William, somebody else. Not part of the foundation or the situation. 24, 26, someone from outside. Wow. This could be someone from outside of the royal family, which I don't even know how that's possible. But, okay, like in all the prophecies of the Antichrist will come, he will be an outsider. He or she will be, I don't see why it can't be a woman. But I think it's a man. He or she will be an outsider from the political game. They will seem to come out of nowhere. And that's actually what this is saying. This person is an outsider. They're separated. Okay, separated from the family. Yeah, so that would be Harry. Harry is currently very much separated from the family. That could definitely be Harry, and he's an outsider who's separated from the family. What do we have over here with William? Lovers, straight razor, 10 hearts, 13, 4 hearts, family, 4 hearts. Cut from the close relationship and the family. Cut. So will William rule or someone else? I think this again is somebody else reacting to this outsider scapegoat. 7 diamonds and 8 spades. Outsider comes from outsider. Scapegoat is the ultimate outsider. 13, outside the family. 4 hearts. Reacting to this outsider. So again, I'm seeing someone from, it could be Harry, could definitely be Harry. Maybe William will not reign. And that's the prophecy. It's someone from outside. Okay, so they're a single plane crash away from the throne, and Meghan said this. So will a huge tragedy befall the royals, killing many of them in a single swipe? Let's just see, because that's the only way. I mean, the line of succession is rock solid. They don't violate it. They stick to it, and they're going to stick to it unless something really crazy happens. So will a huge tragedy befall the royals, killing many of them in a single swipe? Because one plane crash away or one nuclear bomb dropped on London, it could very easily knock out all of them. So will a huge tragedy befall the royals, killing many in a King of Spades, Mercury, very suddenly. We have a huge tragedy befalling them. Executioner cuts off the head. This is very, very suddenly. Many things working together. Yeah, 12 and 13, 25, 7 hearts. The way is open for and that's how prophecy works. The way is open for this culling, a big culling. And an executioner, the most powerful cards in the deck are Magi, and he's a manifester, and executioner. This is a very, very powerful energy. This is a government. This is a judge. This is a mafia boss. This is a very large, organized thing. It's very powerful because it's so organized. Executioner is. So that could easily be dropping the bomb, which is why I brought that up in the intro, because I don't know why, and the ninnies, the crybullies are going to say, oh, you just like Trump. No, he's somebody influential who just said, why aren't we brokering a peace? And I do like Elon Musk, and he's somebody very intelligent and influential saying, why don't we broker a peace? I don't understand why everyone is not saying we need to broker peace with Ukraine and instead sending billions and billions and billions of dollars of armaments, and Russia is losing their minds, threatening to launch nukes. I don't think that's good for anybody. And I would rather fight than stay here and, whatever. What do we have underneath? 2 hearts. Close relationship. 2 diamonds. We have a lot of 2s. And something very sudden, and like sun can be like a nuclear bomb. And very close. And something poisonous in the permanent situation. So again, this looks like a nuke. This looks like a nuke. 9, 15, 16, 18, 5 diamonds. And it's just going on one step, it's just progressing. There's a progression. And it's very personal. Very, very personal. So, this could be like the nuke. I don't know, which concerns me. Let's just ask one more question. Is there any chance, and these are just energies, so I sincerely hope we don't have, I sincerely hope Russia does not launch nukes and force the U.S. and NATO and that idiot Brandon to drag us into nuclear war, which they really seem to be trying to do. They're not trying, they're doing it. Does it end in nuclear war? I hope not. So is there any chance that Harry could become king? Any chance? He's way down the line. I showed you the line of succession. He's like depending how you count. If you count Charles, if you count Charles, he's number 6. If you don't count Charles, he's number 5. Let's see, Charles, William, 1, 2, 3 kids, and then so he's number 6. If you count Charles, he's number 5 if you don't count Charles, because Charles is already king. So, is there any chance Harry could become king? Any chance? Because Markle is jumping for joy. Any chance? Any real possibility? Playa. Oh, there's that executioner again. Keeps wanting to show up. There's a devil hiding on the bottom. What's that about? So the devil is very evil. Something very, very evil this way comes. So player, let's see, 11, 15, 20, 5 spades. Big problem. He's just the guy. He's the man of the hour. This is what we have to do right now. Reacting to circumstances, this is what we have to do right now. And you're it. Tag, you're it, Harry. So this is a yes. These are red and positive cards. This is a yes. In a bad situation, 5 spades, he definitely could become king. Executioner, very serious cutting. Everything working together and separated. Okay, the former order just destroyed. It's William, George, Charlotte, Louis. That order is just destroyed, cut, and knocked away. And 3 hearts, 7 hearts, and something very, very evil occurs. So King of Spades and Devil. And that's just the right thing to do. 10, 23, 25, 28, 7 spades. Comes out of nowhere. So definitely there is a possibility that Harry could become king. And these things seem to be indicating that. So I don't see Charles abdicating the throne. I do see illness. Okay. Do I see him passing from illness in the next 3 years? No. I do see someone rising up unexpectedly. Will William or someone else? Definitely someone else may rule in William's place. I would like to see William rule. One plane crash away. Is there some big tragedy that could occur? Definitely, and it really looks nuclear to me. Honestly, it doesn't look like a single plane crash. And there is definitely a possibility that Harry could become king. You know, this is all just for entertainment purposes. I hope none of that comes true. But that's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination Fortune Telling. Don't forget to like and share and comment.